Hey guys, welcome back. So this is my review on Married to Medicine season 7 episode 6. All right. So you started off with Heavenly and Daddy talking about the sipping paint party that Toya had, and now that he knows about the male models and them being naked and picking Heavenly up and all of that. So they just had like a little chit chat about it, and Heavenly was like, "Oh, I was going to tell you, but whenever you get home, you're tired, we have sex, you go to bed, so I never get a chance to tell it," which we all know that's not why. But anyway, so he was just saying, if it was the other way around, you'd be upset, so on and so forth. So they decided to well, Jackie decided to, and if you guys see me looking down, I jotted down some notes. Anyway, so Jackie decided to have a girls trip to Savannah, basically to just have a revival. The girls get together, regroup, and this time they're inviting the new member, Buffy. And yeah, so they all meet up at Jackie's house, and she has breakfast waiting for them. Everyone greets each other. Everything's cool. I must say, Heavenly looks really nice. She really does. The weight loss looks good on her. It's settled, because at first she was looking kind of, somebody lose weight at first, and they kind of things kind of droop a little bit. Anyway, off subject, but Heavenly looked good. She looked really good. So anyway, all the girls are there. They greet each other. Everyone's cordial. It's fine. So they get on the bus and they're on their way to Savannah, which is a 4-hour trip. So on the way there, Simone mentions Toya's house. And so, she's like, "Hey, yeah, Toya just moved into her new house. Everyone's applauding and all of that." And then Heavenly makes this comment like, "Damn, we celebrating people getting houses like it's no big deal." So her and Toya had their little exchange, and Heavenly's like, "Well, my house is almost paid off," and Toya was saying this is their second house, which I didn't know. I think I asked somebody about that because I didn't know. I was wondering if Toya and Eugene, if this was their first house that they bought, or because I didn't know if they were always renting and this was their first house that they bought, or because my thing is, if they already owned a house, I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having more than one house that you own, and maybe you're renting one out, but I just thought that I always thought that they rented. But anyway, so Toya let it be known that they still have their previous home, that they still own that too. So but yeah, Heavenly's her attitude about it was like, I'm like this. I don't care if this is your third, fourth, fifth house. I'm always going to celebrate my friends. You know, any accomplishment, any type of advancement, anything, if you're happy about it, I'm happy for you. And Heavenly just kind of came off just bitter for whatever reason. So anyway, they started talking about bonding and talking about girl code and how, this trip is supposed to be all about that. Of course, they're starting off on the wrong foot. So they get to the house, which is a very old house. They get there, and not only do they learn that they have to share rooms, some of them are sharing beds. Now, listen, I've been there as an adult. You sharing a bed with your friend, you on a trip or whatever. But nah, I know I would have been trying to find the room with the twin beds, separate beds. Like, I'm just not. I'm just not. No. But anyway, so Jackie paired everyone off that she felt got along. Which I thought was a good idea. I had talked to someone about it, and they were like, "Oh, she should have put the people who were beefing in the room to kind of force them to make up and talk." And I'm like, no. My when they get together at the dinner table, whatever, or whenever they get together as a group, if they want to discuss or address issues, they can do it then. But I would not put them, because to me it's like you won't be comfortable, you know. So anyway, it was Jackie, Contessa sharing a room, Mariah and Toya, Heavenly and Quad, and Buffy and Simone, all sharing a room with each other. So they get dressed in all white. They're going out to dinner. So they go out, and Jackie reveals at this point, all right, look, we're about to have a revival. We're about to, revamp girl code. Okay, so she had everyone write down their girl code that they want to revive, basically, and write it down and own it. So everyone wrote things down, and Mariah, you can tell Mariah's just not feeling this. So Mariah made a comment. She was like, "Look, we're always doing this. We're always getting together as a group. We're always having, these girl trips or these girl moments, or regrouping type session, and yet we still manage to bump heads." And I mean, there's nothing wrong with bumping heads, but I see what she mean. It's like, look, is this for real? We're doing it for the cameras. You know what I mean? Because it's true, and it's always Jackie at the forefront that's trying to get everybody together, and yet we still, I feel like, unless you're going to get to the root of the problem, and not even that, there may be, everyone's not meant to be friends forever, okay? And honestly, just my opinion, I think Mariah wants to be friends with Quad. I think she misses their friendship. Um, and I think she wants to, because just even with past seasons and past episodes, it seemed like the incident at Heavenly's crab boil. Okay, when Simone got, I mean, yeah, but Simone went off on Quad, and Quad got like really, really upset and stormed off. Mariah was the one who followed her and was like, "Look, I know her. I know her. I know how she is. Let me talk to her." You know what I mean? So I've seen it along the way where Mariah seemed like she wouldn't mind being friends with Quad again. Quad, I don't know. I'm not so sure. I don't know if Quad is just so stubborn, or if Quad knows and feels that Mariah wants to be friends again. So, because y'all know how it is when you know somebody want to be friends with you again, or somebody wants you back, you tend to, act extra. Like, yeah, I know she want to be my friend again, so I'm going to be extra, off putting to her, or extra, I'm going to ignore her more, or whatever. So, anyway, I'm off a tangent, but so Mariah is like, look, we keep having these kumbaya moments, and yet nothing changes, or it changed for a moment. And she mainly was talking about the whole, she still hung on the whole Quad accusing her of using drugs. So when they when Jackie started reading everyone's paper scroll that they wrote down, so she, Mariah brought it up, and she ended up later on, like, she just was not feeling it. You could see it all over her face. And so Jackie asked her, she was like, you okay? Mariah was like, no. She's like, yeah, I can tell. So they end up on the bus, and they start talking about it again. Mariah is pissed. She's hurt. So she's on there on the bus, and she's like, I want to talk about it, because I feel like it's just fakeness. We're talking about this, but yet I've been accused, I've been lied on, and no one has come to my defense. And of course, everyone's just kind of just sitting back, listening, letting her have for a moment. Heavenly, well, so Quad is like, you've lied on people, you've done stuff too. And Mariah's like, okay, I'm not saying that I didn't. Like, okay, we know all of that. I want to talk about this moment, because she's really, really hurt. So next thing you know, Heavenly's jumping in, and because Heavenly's I'm guessing still holding on to Mariah saying she had receipts on Daddy, having an affair, or whatever. So Heavenly's still holding on to that. And Mariah was like, well, I've never seen him actually do anything. I didn't say that I saw him do something. So Heavenly went from 1 to 10. She's going back and forth, wouldn't let Mariah get a word out. And I understand how I see both sides. I understand how people are saying, well, Mariah, you're not totally innocent. You have said some things, you have made accusations, lied, whatever. So it can't be you've done the same thing, but now that the tables are turned and it's on you, you're just losing it. You're this victim and, whatever. Mariah, it seemed like she's looking at it from a standpoint of, I don't know if like this is so severe that it's different. I don't know. Anyway, so apparently, well, let me backtrack. I'm way ahead of myself. At dinner, Contessa gets a text from Scott. And so she gives the phone to Toya. She's like, look, look at the text that I just got. So apparently Scott is leaving on third. Now I'm not sure what day it is, the day that they are in Savannah. I can't remember what day it was, but so he's like he's gonna go out of town to celebrate his boy's birthday. He'll be back on what, Saturday, Sunday, and Toya. Oh, and he already had his ticket. So Toya was like, Eugene and I don't do that. We, we check in with each other before we make any moves. And Contessa was like, she acted like she didn't really care that he was doing it. It was like, okay, you're doing the same thing you're upset with me about. And I'm just, okay, let me say this. And every marriage is different. Everybody act different, I've always, not always, but there was a certain point where I kind of felt like Contessa and Scott seemed like they have more of an arrangement than a marriage. Because Contessa is giving me lesbian tease. I'm sorry. And I'm not, look, y'all, listen, I'm just going to say what I think. Okay? Not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong. I'm just giving my opinion, my observation, whatever. Contessa gives me lesbian vibes. I've always felt that way. So I don't know if she really is. And maybe, because, you have people who feel like the ideal life is to be married and have kids, even though you have feelings for the same sex, whatever. This is not going to be about people being in the closet. I'm just saying. But she's just like, I don't care. He could do his thing. It's just don't get upset when I want to go out and do my thing. And I have to side with Toya, okay? Because my thing is this. I wish my husband would send me a text. Here's the thing. So, Contessa just left the house. She just left, like, just 4 or 5 hours ago. And you didn't say anything about going hanging out with your friend or going out of town with your friend. All of a sudden you sending her this text like you just found out. So that's what I have a problem with. Like, no, you're not gonna tell me at the last minute. So who's watching the kids? Like, so when she was packing her stuff and was saying, are you good, are you okay to watch the kids, I'm gonna be gone for 3 days, he was like, all right, yeah, okay, I guess, whatever. No mention of a party. You wait till she get to Savannah and then you send her a text. Like, anyway, so that's I forgot to mention that. Okay, so we're off of that. We're back to Mariah having her moment on the bus. She's going off. She's just emotional, and she's like, her thing was nobody even came to ask her, is this true, or where could Quad gotten this from? It was like Quad said it and everybody ran with it. And yeah, it kind of seemed that way, especially for Jackie to repeat it like it's fact. So Heavenly and Mariah's going back really heavily. So Heavenly was like, no. So Quad went into, well, the way you act, you go off and you this and that. Nah, Quad, we talking about what you saw. We're not talking about, because if you go on by behavior, I would say Heavenly is the one on drugs. Okay, you was like, well, the way you act sometimes. No, ma'am, we're not talking about how she's acting. We're talking about what you said you saw, what you accused her of as being fact, because you said you walked in seeing her doing drugs. Okay. Now, Mariah and Quad have said some things about each other. Do I think they have lied on each other? Yes. Yes. Do I think they have exaggerated and have stretched the truth? Yes. Um, and I mean, you've had people who are guilty and who cry and go off. I don't know. For some reason, I just believed Mariah. Do I think Mariah was in the room where drugs were being done? Possibly. She possibly was in the room next to someone. I mean, Quad was at the same party, so I don't know if they have a room designated for coke or drugs, but apparently they were at the same party or gathering where drugs were being done. I personally, I don't know. I just, one minute I was like, maybe she did. Next minute I'm like, nah, maybe she didn't. So anyway, next thing you know, Toya jumps in it. So then her and Heavenly's going at it. Meanwhile, everybody else is getting off the bus. Contestants like, oh, I'm sick of this, blah blah. Everyone gets off the bus. They get to the house, and Jackie can't find the key. So they on the porch. They still loud. Of course, it's like, oh my god, now we're about to have attention. Jackie finally finds the key. They go in, and Mariah is hysterical. So she's upstairs. She calls her husband, and she's just like boo-hooing. She's like, "Look, I'm sick of this. No one defends me. They believe everything she said. This girl's accusing me of this." So he's like, "Oh, she brought it up again," and then Mariah's like, "Well, I kind of brought it up." So Aiden was like, "Why do you keep bringing it up? Why did you say something? Why do you keep bringing this up?" And Mariah's like, she wants resolution. She's so hurt that no one's taking up for her. No one but Toya. Now, I kind of agree with Aiden when he's like, "Why do you keep bringing it up?" I understand, because sometimes you have to just let it go, let it die down, and move on. But at the same time, I guess if first of all, because it was stated on national TV. Okay, so that's first of all. So not only do people in their circle know or have heard the rumors, everybody is watching TV has heard it. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well. Now, so Toya reveals to Quad at the dinner that Mariah went and took a drug test. So this is when I kind of flip back to, maybe she didn't do it. So she went and took a drug test, and apparently the drug test that she took, they did hair samples. And hair samples, I guess, is supposedly the most reliable, because it shows from a span of 5 to 10 years. So if she's used drugs within 5 to 10 years, it would show up, and it came back negative. Okay, so Toya was like, "Well, what do you say to that?" Like, she's not just going back and forth with you. She's not just saying I didn't do it. She went a step further and got tested and got this type of test to debunk what you're saying. And so Quad was like, "Well, maybe it's inconclusive." Here's my thing, and tests could be wrong, whatever. My thing is this, Quad. The only thing we have from you is your word, what you saw, and we're talking about you and your frenemy who have talked about each other. Mariah has scientific proof. Okay, whether it's 100% accurate or whatever, she took the extra step, got tested, and have proof. You, on the other hand, it's just hearsay. Now, I don't know if Mariah is going to share it with the other girls. I would. To me, I would share the information with the other girls and put it to rest. Here's the result. But I guess with her, it's like, if we're really friends, you guys shouldn't be so quick to believe. So she may feel like I shouldn't have to go the extra mile to prove it to you. She doesn't, and she shouldn't. However, I would, just to show that, Quad, whatever you talking about, whatever you think you saw, what proof do you have? Because I have proof right here. For the past 5, 10 years, I have not used drugs, and I will leave it alone. Trust and believe that will stop it, unless somebody else come forward. But that right there would stop the rumors. So anyway, um, yeah, so she's upset, she's crying. Toya comes in, starts consoling her, and they go for a walk. And so while they're out, they sit down, they're talking, and Mariah's, she's still just saying, no one's there for me, no one's defending me. And Toya was just like, I really liked when they were in the room before they went out, and Toya just grabbed her face, put forehead to forehead, and I'm just like, calm down, like breathe, calm down, it's gonna be okay. I love moments like that because a lot of times your girlfriends can be trying to just talk to you, and sometimes you don't want to hear anybody talk. You just want silence. You just want somebody to listen. You just want somebody to sit there with you, or you just want to be held. Every situation doesn't call for someone to talk, someone to reason, someone to make sense out of things. So I really, really like that moment. I also like the moment when the girls were together at dinner and Jackie did the candle ceremony, when she lit the candle and each lady lit the other person candle. I like stuff like that. I thought it was very sweet. Of course, it didn't of course it didn't last, but I did like the sentiment behind it. So, anyway, um, so Toya and Mariah, they go for a walk. Then they sit down, and you know Mariah's, of course, she's still upset. So Toya's like, you want to pray? Mariah's like, look, I got hate in my heart right now. I'm not trying to take this to Jesus. So Toya says a prayer, and yeah, so it ends on that note. And I'm trying to think if I left anything out. I don't think I did. But anyway, so overall, the clips from next episode, it looks like Mariah, things have not calmed down, and she's leaving. That's what it looks like. I will say, um, like I said before, everybody is not meant to stay friends. People come and go out of your lives, and I am a firm believer that if someone is causing you stress, if it's hard work to maintain a friendship with someone, cut it loose. Cut it loose. I have done so. I can't deal with unnecessary drama. Whether it's from friends, family, co-workers, whomever, I can't do drama. And if you being around me or in my life is causing me drama, it's causing me to be upset, it's causing me to feel negative, or I can't. You got to go. Seriously, you have got to go. So hopefully, I mean, I don't know how, if they're all going to stay on this show, they have to find some type of middle ground. They have to, because what you don't want is a situation where now people won't film with each other and all of that foolishness. Now, I mean, will Mariah and Quad ever get together? It seems to me like this because they showed a clip. Who was talking? I think Simone was talking to Buffy and was saying, just when you think there's a little hope, and they were showing the clip where they were on the trip and Aiden had gotten sick and Mariah, was upset, of course, and Quad came and hugged her. So I think there's love there, but so much has transpired over the years that I think Mariah is willing to bend. Quad is just Quad is on this path that I mean, you see how she is with Simone. So if Quad is willing to bend and just start all over, I think they can find a way to at least just be really cordial, not fake cordial, around each other, because I do think there is a deep love between the two. And I think when things get down and dirty. I mean, when they, I think when they really really are down and out and they need each other, they're there. They're there. I mean, we've seen it. So anyway, guys, that is my review on Married to Medicine season 7 episode 6. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and until next time, take care.